Hello, hello. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, no matter where you are. It is amazing to see you all piling into this sanctuary of TikTok discussion for this afternoon. We're all our fantastic guest Rita, who I'll introduce you into just a moment, and myself are based in London, so it's a nice evening here. As more and more people are coming in, I'd love to just hear from you where you are, what you do. So feel free to open up the chat and say hello. We've got Mike and Amal already chatting in there. As more and more people come in, just to kind of set the tone of what this session is going to be all about. We are here, of course, to talk about how we master TikTok for business. I have no doubt that many people in the room today have lost themselves on the scrolling of dancing videos, cat videos, dog videos, pranks, memes, all sorts of glorious content on TikTok. But the question has been risen and continues to be discussed on how can we master that for our social media marketing for our businesses. Now, just 2 weeks ago, we spoke to the fantastic Ollie Hills, and that recording is now available on actually how we get started as a business. But now we're bringing out even more big guns to talk about mastering that. And we couldn't think of anyone better to take us through today than the fantastic Rita from Tech Bible. Rita is actually a friend of mine. We met a couple of years ago, and she was the first person telling me how I need to up my TikTok game, both personally and in a business context. And really, Rita's just been an absolute force within the TikTok world from many different perspectives, as an influencer in her own right, as a consultant for many other businesses, and also working with lots of different people on fine-tuning and finding their TikTok voice, and of course, making that valuable for their business. So, hello, Rita, how are you?
Hi, Mike. I'm good. How are you?
I'm very, very good. Thank you. It's lovely to see you again. Let's also just say hello to a couple of people coming in the chat. So we've got Herbert there from Texas. Great to meet you, from KW Realtor. We've got Adriana from Canada. Love it. I love Alberta in terms of one of the most beautiful places. We've got Paula from Argentina. Leon said hello. We don't know where Leon is at the moment. Mariana from London. There's lots of great people. Got people from Kent, people from Detroit. Love it. We are an international bunch, and I'm sure there's more people coming in from more fantastic places. Now, as we continue through this session over the next 45 or so minutes, I'm going to just kick off and ask lots of questions to Rita. I'm so fascinated about this. As one of the co-founders of Hopper HQ, the planning and scheduling tool for social, TikTok has obviously been on our radar for a long time. We now plan and schedule and do everything for TikTok and have heaps of features coming out to your Hopper HQ accounts. And if you want to keep in touch with us throughout this session, there is the fantastic Amal, who is the content marketing manager at Hopper, who is manning the chat, managing the Q&A, and any other way you'd like to get in touch with us. So let's begin. Rita, can you just kick off by giving us a brief introduction to who you are, what you do, and why you like or are intrigued by TikTok?
Perfect, will do. So I'm Rita. I am originally Moroccan, moved to the UK some while ago, and I come from a background of corporate. So I've worked in different marketing teams. I was a project manager for different teams. And then I was like, nope, that's it. I'm done with it. I'm going to go on my own. I'm going to join one of the best entrepreneurship programs when COVID hit. So it was perfect timing. Then launched my first tech business. That was about the time where TikTok also had just started. It started to get famous around the US and the UK. And it was the perfect platform to just share my knowledge, promote my business, to get more downloads. I built this tech app that's on the App Store, and I needed to see whether it actually works or not. So we needed to track traffic and downloads. So that was my first kind of contact with TikTok. My little sister actually was the one that recommended it to me, because she used to send me memes that I would not understand. So we had no way to relate to each other, because she's like about 16 now, by the time she was 14. So it was like the perfect opportunity for me to drive traffic for my business, to watch what other creators are doing, but also while consuming, started sharing what I knew about software, about tech, about building a startup. And I didn't think much of it in the beginning, but then it found a huge amount of following. I just reached 160,000 followers this last month, and I'm so happy to be able to have that kind of engagement on a platform that really would have not considered it just 2 years ago. So yeah, I'm working with brands to also promote their own software platforms, and most of it was kind of UGC content, but developed into full-on mode strategies for TikTok. That's what I get. Yeah.
Almost an accidental TikToker from your sister's influence, and then commercialized, as all good entrepreneurs do. We're going to dive deep into this. What I'd love to get out for everyone on the call here is what we promised, the mastering of TikTok, the specifics. But before we go into that level, can we just kind of set the scene in terms of who is TikTok for? You got brought into it from a 14-year-old. So can we only sell products to 14-year-olds, or what can we expect from it as a business? Who uses it? What does that look like now?
Yeah. So no, when it started, of course, like the early adopters in any social media platforms are the younger generations, but eventually kind of the other generations and the laggers follow up with that. So TikTok started as the social media platform where creators are paid to, well, they're paid for the amount of views that they're getting. So it was different from what we've seen before with Instagram creators and Facebook not giving full credit to the creators who are posting on the platform and bringing the engagement. So TikTok came in with this new vision, and they didn't stop there. After they saw that creators from different backgrounds were just talking about what they loved doing, what they loved on camera, it became and evolved more into a search engine. So how the younger generation now are using it is, instead of typing on Google, how do I find this product, or how can I solve this on my laptop, and read many blogs and get 60,000 results, they will type it on TikTok, and then they will get a creator who solves that problem for them in a video that's less than 60 seconds. And the content is just so engaging, because you feel like you're FaceTiming with a person. It's completely different from what we've seen in other social media platforms. YouTube, of course, was kind of in that sense the first mover to the market, but still YouTube video was long. It was not optimized enough for the younger generations now. Yeah, so started as a social media platform, but now is evolving towards a search engine.
So actually, one of our team told me this. Do you know TikTok's the first time where I've started to feel old as somebody in the space of social media, which I'm only 33, so I'm constantly fighting against that. But when one of our team said, this was a while ago, TikTok is the biggest search engine now for millennials, I didn't believe it. I just refused. So I actually Googled some of our course TikTok, some of our core search terms, like the things that we know people find Hopper with. It's phenomenal. There's so much amazing content, and I actually ended up learning more about the things we talk about from TikTok, and being in a part of that community actually just builds the knowledge that you're learning and creating and sharing. But just to hammer down on one point, so does that mean that actually we can only sell to millennials on TikTok, or actually are other markets there as well?
There are other markets. Is definitely heavy on Gen Z and millennials using it, and you can see that in the demographic of who uses TikTok. But there are other early adopters from other generations that are hopping on the platform as well, and who are producing content as well. So of course, B2C brands in general are the ones who are profiting from this the most, and who TikTok feels like it's the ideal solution for them. But when someone asks me the question, I'm always like, okay, who is video content for? Short form video content for? Because whatever is produced for TikTok is also being used in Instagram Reels and also being used in YouTube Shorts. I mean, YouTube is heavily on this right now. They're trying to jump on this trend for the past year. So it's about who am I creating short format video content for? And what does my brand want to be known for? So if I'm a B2B brand, but I want to be known as leader of thought in this industry, then I'm going to be sharing long format videos on YouTube explaining how to do this. And if I'm a B2C brand and I'm a SaaS business, for example, but I want to solve a problem that a consumer has on a day-to-day on the daily, then I'm going to share short format content explaining what that problem is and how they can solve it using my product. I can demo it to show how easy it is, or I can just jump on trends. So there's different ways in which the brand can be represented or wants to represent itself on TikTok. But it's going back to that first question, reaffirming the why. How will people describe our brand to their friends, to their colleagues? What is it about us that we want to put out there? And then there's always an audience for it.
Yeah, something you said there makes me really intrigued, and you know, you can jump on trends, or actually you can talk about the problems people are solving. They feel very different to me, and actually they feel like, from a marketing strategy perspective, how we'd resource it and also what we'd look to get back from it from a marketing perspective would be different. So having worked with the amount of businesses on TikTok that you have, what would you say, what sort of success can we target and or expect for a business on TikTok? What does success look like, and how can we measure it?
Yeah, that is the first question I ask a brand when I'm working with them, is what does success mean to you? So are we driving traffic? Are we driving conversions? Are we driving growing a community? So are we trying to collect emails from people so we can start sending out newsletters? What are we trying to do? And that goes back to our whole business growth model, or in general, in other terms, marketing strategy. TikTok is just another traffic source. So how you want to drive it is up to you and up to what works on the platform. So always starting with this experimentation mindset. I am going in not knowing any of the answers, so I'm not going to make a lot of hypotheses. I'm going to wait one or two, test them out in the first few weeks without a huge amount of investment, and then see what works. And I do feel like we're going to go into this a lot more into detail.
Well, let's jump in, and actually, as we do that, I'd love to invite the audience, because I know we have a lot of breadth of businesses and people on the call. So I'd love to just invite everybody to jump into the chat. If you were working with Rita or anybody advising on TikTok, and they were to say, what do you want out of the platform? Is it acquisition? Is it brand awareness? Is it conversion? Is it lead gen? Please just put in the chat what you would ideally like to get out of it, and we can pull some of that out as we continue the conversation. So, okay, you've said about experimental mindset. Love that. Makes a lot of sense. How do we start? Give us a hand. What sort of content works well on TikTok?
Yeah. All right. So I'm going to go back to the first question, which is reaffirming the why are we on TikTok. So this is a very old marketing hack, is that brands would create this personality so that consumers relate and build this trust with their consumers, so they're remembered longer term. So when we are going on TikTok, what is this personality that we are going to be presenting? Are we the thought leader? Are we the funny, kind of relatable brand? Are we the charming? There's a whole wheel that we can follow, and the different charisma types that we can position our brand into. And then from there, now that we have a quick idea on what is it that we are going to be presented as, then we can start, okay, do we want to test out with existing content that we've created throughout the years? For example, I have a piece, a blog that we created, or like a series of Instagram posts that we created. Would we want to just recreate that as a short format videos and see how it performs and summarize it as a short format video? Or do we want to like go completely original content and recreate something that is fun, engaging? Because in ourselves, we want to rebrand from what we've had previously and it hasn't worked. My strategy is always, let's test out all of them. Let's go create in the first few weeks 3 to 6 videos. Some of the videos are created internally from existing content. 2 of the videos are created from original content that is based on the trends as someone who consumes a little bit of content in their niche. And then 2 of the videos maybe are created by creators in our niche, influencers who would create some UGC content for us, or we'll just give them a brief about what we want and then let them have the creativity and use their own style to create it.
Okay.
Test all of them in a couple of weeks, see organically and whether we can also sponsor them on Spark's ads, see whatever one converts the most in our top priority objectives, because usually when we take an action, there's not only one thing that we want out of it. We want a couple of very precise actions. Whomever performed the most, then that's the way for us to continue and build our content strategy on. And of course, this is an exercise that I recommend for brands to do regularly, like every 6 months or on a yearly basis, because you learn a lot, and you have to allow whomever is taking care of that strategy, of your content strategy, to evolve. It's just about having the space. Social media is like a super creative space, and you would want to allow your team the possibility to evolve as they learn.
Okay, cool. Love that. So actually try those 3 different modes. The Spark ads, is that literally just we put them up, we put a little bit of spend across each of them and just see which one then gets the most carry and the most organic reach as a result of the boost we give it?
Yeah, so we will, like, for example, it doesn't have to be a huge budget in the beginning. It would be about 50 or 100 pounds per video, and we'll say which one costs us the least to get the clicks through, to have the conversion. So the one that costs us the least and got the most amount of views is the one we kind of follow with that same type of content.
Okay, cool. Yeah, that makes sense. Looking at the chat, thank you so much for sharing, folks. So, I mean, we've got a few people, Leon, community growth. We've got a few other people on community growth. And then we've got a brand recognition, both with Teresa and Herbert there. And then we've also, which I guess is also the digital presence with Paula. We've then also got AK Alabi looking at conversions for his customized weightlifting belts. So let's take those 3 different things. One of them is community growth, one of them is conversions, and the other one's brand recognition. When you go in and you're approaching those different, we're putting this test together, would you perhaps approach those strategies or those things differently? And what would the difference be in terms of, do we go funny, do we go educational, do we go, whatever?
Yeah. So community growth and brand recognition or brand awareness for me go hand in hand. Just because if I am building a community, then I need those people to understand what I stand for, the missions, the values, the deliverables, the value that they will get from following my brand or engaging with my brand. So they kind of fall into the same type of content that is created. Funnily enough, Teresa, one of my clients, is actually an IoT system for people with hearing damage. So one of the first campaigns that I worked with them on is raising awareness on hearing impairment on TikTok, and that was purely educational content. So for that, we were like, okay, it's a movement and we need to be really original with that movement. So we're going to approach it as, okay, let's just go out on the streets, ask people what do they think about when, or what do they understand when they hear their ears ringing at the end of the night when they leave a club. So everyone would be like, oh, that's a sign of a good night. That means that I had so much fun. Or but in reality, that's a sign of hearing damage, because that you spend too much time in a loud space. So it then created for us this super funny content of people not understanding at all why we are at 9 p.m. outside of bars and restaurants, asking them why are their ears ringing around London, when we're trying to raise awareness about what we're doing and trying to engage and help with that movement.
Wow.
So when a brand has a movement behind it, I would say original content is the best strategy for that. If I have a strict product like Alavi said for like weightlifting, there is an already huge community that you need to capitalize on of influencers who are every day recording themselves in the gym using different ways, recommending stuff to people. So no need to go and like think about a whole content strategy that is new and different. You want to capitalize on what's already existent on the platform because it's already super big. And if I'm talking about a realtor, for example, as Herbert said, you have an expertise that a lot of people would pay to have. Like you know so much about the market that I would go at it from an educational point of view. I would share all of the hacks that people should look at when they are about to buy a new home, or things to look out for in contracts. Or there's so much you're carrying, so much expertise that people will immediately see value in it and would want to do it immediately on TikTok, especially if they're interested.
So that's firstly, that's the benefit of sharing in the chat, because you're getting this live consultancy right there. But that's super useful. One thing I observed there, Rita, is that there's almost this thread of education that runs through it, right? Insight and education, and then of course you put that spin on if you want it to be more serious, more professional, more funny, or whatever that may be. Can I also just ask, is Teresa the company you were talking about?
I don't think so.
Oh, amazing! What are the chances? That's great. Yeah, two hearing loss on the worlds colliding here, or hearing awareness. Amazing. So thank you. That's super useful. So we'll start out by saying let's test on content we have. We repurpose. We'll create, do whatever else. We'll have potentially this education format showing what we do based on what we're trying to achieve and who we're trying to achieve it. Let's talk about the actual specific content itself. What works well? What should we be including to make sure we have the best chance of those tests being valuable?
Yeah, so there's two ways I think about TikTok contents: trends and series. I'm simplifying it, but if we could go a lot into detail. There's two: trends and series. So trends, I think about it as like the desserts, and series is like this healthy meal that I've had throughout the day. So a trend is something that I'm doing because it's fun, because it's relatable, and it gets me the views and new customers easily, because it will be recommended on it at the FYP, especially if the sound is also trending and everyone is on the same hype. And the series is the value. So it's actually nutritional. It's what people will follow me for. They will come back to check if I post this content. They will follow me because they relate to it. They're at the stage of their business or in their life or in their career where they need content like wow, my brand is offering. So that's what they will keep coming back for. I will use trends to grow, that get that extra hit of dopamine from time to time on my profile, but I will use the series to stay consistent in posting and engaging with the community that I'm building regularly. Yeah, and under those series, we can talk about the different type of content that goes into that: educational content, entertaining. We can also say like something about products, launching product updates is also a type of series. So the series would depend. And yeah, so the series doesn't have to be original. It can be just educational, but the trends always have to be original, because you need to spin what everyone is doing based on the industry that you're in or your product. That's the type that works. That's the strategy that works for me personally and for other brands. But there are cases where I've worked with brands where a series actually took them viral. So this is the case of a sustainability clothing app. We knew that the topic would gather a lot of attention, so we wanted to spend more time sharpening the copy of the videos, sharpening the content, making sure that we recorded everything right, because we knew that it's the type of content that would go viral on first instance. So the general rule is that series require consistency and will not give you a lot of spikes of growth. But in some cases, when you put a lot of work behind the copy and where you present it, then it will. And depending on like the kind of industry that you're in, I would say for the sports industry, for example, that's something that would go full on, yes, expecting the content to go viral because people want to see it. It's very highly demanded on there and the audience is there.
And so, I mean, the series, am I right in thinking that consistency is really important now? Herbert's just come back and said he's using TikTok for educational purposes like FAQ. What other types of content might be appropriate? Now, I get from what you've said that maybe jumping on the odd trend is really good, but actually, should Herbert be looking for new for new types of content, or actually really fine-tuning on making perhaps the makeup of that educational content, refining that to be more valuable? Is it helping when we test something? Is the test good enough for us to draw conclusions to either do more or move away from it, or actually can we do another version of that?
Yeah, it's so under that educational contents, it can be talking about common problems that your clients relate to, discussing the FAQs, demoing the product or the service, discussing case, like showing the behind the scenes of when you're working on a new project or you're developing a new feature. There is variation of that educational content that can be presented under like it's educational, but it's not. But the trend is, it comes, and there is a new trend every 2 weeks on TikTok that's based on something that has happened. Like, for example, this week there's a trend where everyone is using this cop filter and then they're running away because with the sound where you're never gonna catch me because I'm gonna do it because I'm a rebel. But how your brand is gonna jump on that is that maybe you're saving a lot of cost to clients who are using your products while other competitors cannot manage to do that. So you're portraying yourself as that brand who is being rebellious. But in terms of educational content, it can come into a lot of variation. There's some form of creativity in it, but it's something that's consistent, and we know the types that can go under it. It's not like, yeah.
So let's dive into that then. So it feels like educational content will play a core part of most people's strategy. Big question, and let's look at the actual videos we're creating. Do we have to have a host, and what sort of energy do we go for?
Ooh, yes, so we need to have a host. I'm still coming across businesses these days that think in order to do video production, there's a massive budget that needs to go behind it. We need to have some cameras and lights and the person and makeup and hair and everything is done. I'm like, no, you just need a phone, a good iPhone, preferably, and the stand, and then that's it. It's not that hard to get on video content these days. And the one that works usually is the one that feels most authentic. So you don't need to make it feel like it's professional content, because that's not what the platform is going for. So when we're creating content, we need to have something that's engaging. Either it's like the background, or I'm using if I'm using offices, then I'll get my coworkers to, or usually everyone from every part of the brand to participate. One of the latest one, which is a coaching platform, a software for a business that I work with. I got their software engineers to record the TikTok, not even like the person building the community or the coach, just because it gives like this this feeling of it's like we're not trying too hard, but we are trying too hard, if you see what I mean.
Yeah, it's almost like effortlessly connected. And I really love your point about authenticity as well, because I think that if sometimes you scroll on Instagram Reels or TikTok or whatever, and you can almost fall into the trap of good business sales video is somebody being like, hey, well, I actually made a TikTok the other day, and it's always like 3 top tools to use. You know, that is the classic thing. But actually, if that's not your natural style and you're talking about your, I don't know, weightlifting belts, whatever that is, it can feel a bit stilted if that's not your natural style. But I guess if we're sharing something that we understand, that we know there's interest, then even if you're doing that in a way, are you basically saying that we don't have to be the entire attention? Our background can be, or the I guess the hook that we have on the video. Is that right, or have I misread that?
Yeah. I'm coming to the hook part, which is like one of the most important things in short format videos.
Okay.
The host's question is, there are some brands who successfully managed to grow their accounts to millions without having physical human hosts. Like Ryanair is the best example for that. Every time they use the plane in an image as a green screen, and then there's like an eyes and mouth popping off of it, which is the actual human that's doing the trend. So all of their TikTok, it's consistent with, it's always the plane talking or making fun of others or doing some kind of trend. That's their host. Duolingo, which is one of the most successful accounts on TikTok, like I think most followed brand account. They have a bird, like dressed up. I don't know how it's a costume that someone is wearing in the office, and it's a bird, and that's what
that's the logo, right? So okay, cool.
Exactly.
So it's the host is there more for consistency and something they can relate to. So like potentially a person, but also doesn't have to be, as long as there's consistency.
It can be your logo or your product.
All right. Talk to me about hooks then.
Yes. So the average person, before they scroll to the next video on TikTok, is about 2 seconds. They give you 2 seconds. So in those 2 seconds, you're either going to get their interest or you're not. And you do want to get their interest, because if they don't watch the video, your video is not going to be pushed out to more viewers, and therefore you're going to be stuck in like 200, 300 views. So having a hook that is straight to the point, but then drags and then get the points at the end of the video. So I will start with, here is exactly how you can, and then I'll state whatever the problem that I'm solving, or what is it that I'm trying to do. I think we use the same strategy in blogs as well, like in blog titles, like the top 3 things that will get you this result, and then we'll start talking about them. You would not believe that I know this, or this is something that you don't want to miss out on.
Right.
It's that sense of FOMO, as we say. I don't know if you know that term, but
of course.
Yeah. So
I suffer from FOMO in everything I do.
It's the fear of missing out, that because if you scroll on a video, you're probably never going to run into that creator again unless you repost something that is relevant to you and TikTok decides to push it out, but you're usually not going to run into them again. So you need to keep them wanting to stay in the video by having super engaging content, great background, great host presence. So the energy in which you bring into a video, because when someone is being entertained, I mean, they're on TikTok because they want to be entertained. They don't want to like be bored or get off they want to run away from something that they had during the day. They're spending their time. So you want to give them great value for their time in terms, and also in the energy that you're bringing. And if you're really passionate about the brand, the product, the mission behind the brand, then that energy is valuable. It has to be something that is reflected in the videos.
This is a really lovely point, and actually I don't know if you saw, I threw a poll up to everybody, and just to share the results of that poll. We basically, how do you use TikTok is the question, and even though this is mastering TikTok for business, 33% of people consume it for entertaining purposes. And this is exactly your point, right? If we're there for entertainment, if we're there to watch, you know, the cat videos, the dog videos, the food ASMR, whatever that may be, it's gotta stack up against that from an entertainment or interest perspective. So okay.
Yeah. But the only reason I will be coming back to TikTok is if I found that content valuable, it's impacting my life in one way or another. Does it help my growth? Is it going to help me become a better person? So although we are talking about TikTok for business, at the end of the day, in front of those screens are people, and you need to understand that the reasons they're on there is for self-improvement, entertainment, value, and that's what needs to be shown in the content that's being pushed out by the brand.
I'm going to put you on the spot here. Can you give us a great hook?
Yeah, I have a list of them right here.
Easy. I was expecting like a live Oscars performance, Rita, but a list is probably even more valuable.
Yeah, so my favorite is, if you're not doing this, and I will spot in the issue or the problem that I'm solving, you're going to regret it. So put it in a SaaS for Hopper's, in Hopper's case, for example, let's go with that. So if you're not using this scheduling tool, you're going to regret it, because you're wasting a lot of time, and you're not saving a lot of money, or saving your marketing team a lot of money. So that's something I would start with.
I'll put flesh on that. If you're not removing your TikTok logo before posting to Instagram Reels, you're going to
regret it.
And you should use Hopper. I actually told Rita just before this call, that feature is launching today, where actually it will remove your TikTok logo, and so you can put it straight on Instagram without getting shadow banned, which they do for that content. Amazing. So if you're not doing this, then here's the problem. Now I'm going to tell you how to solve it. Love that. What else? What other great hooks?
Or if you're doing this, or for example, if you're still posting your social media content manually, you're making a huge mistake, because there are tools who allow you to do that. And here are some examples of them.
Nice.
Something you didn't know about. I love this one, because especially when you're about to share your opinion on something, or a fact that you know a lot of people don't know about. It's something you didn't know about. Insert shocking facts, and then expand on your point. This is why your content strategy is not working, and then I will explain to them why. Maybe they're not using the right hooks. Maybe they don't have the right growth model in mind. Maybe they're not approaching it as a personality building platform for a brand. They're more approaching it as just something that I'm going to jump on trends, and everyone knows that that's not authentic. Then I'll elaborate on what that brand is not doing right, and then how they can solve it.
Amazing.
Here are X amount of tips that can help you do this, and that. So this is more on the educational content, which I strictly, that's what I post. And I also post a lot of UGC content. UGC content fits this category in terms of having the right hooks. So people trust people. They want to use what other people are using. So having other creators or someone within your team who is pushing for that use is something that is valuable. And we've known this since forever. Trustpilot. That's why every brand wants to be on there. Google reviews, that's why everyone is asking you back for reviews. Yeah. But video reviews are the way to go now. Yeah. And it's even better when they're authentic. I remember once I ran a campaign where this was the whole brand's objective, is to get original reviews. We didn't want to pay influencers to cover the brand anymore. We just wanted to have it enough so that they can start, like the wheel starts itself by itself. When they see big creators pushing for a brand, then everyone else starts to follow. And you see this a lot, for example, in skincare products or anything that has to do with nutritional health. This was a skincare brand, not my usual type of brand, but it was a friend, so we did it, and it worked. if you see someone recommending that this works for them, another person is just going to buy it, try it, be encouraged to jump on a video and say, oh my God, yes, this actually worked for me. And then keep that wheel, and it's an unlimited wheel. You have in marketing, you have some limitations in terms of budgets, but if you can optimize to make it a loop where everyone is reviewing your products for free for you online, it's priceless.
The other thing that's just sprung to my mind on that is obviously having duets within TikTok, or where people can respond to a video. It almost gives us the ability to put a call out, right, to our customers in terms of either like, what is this problem you're having, or what do you think about this, and then actually, or coming back on that specifically, because then obviously they're all nicely linked as well, which makes a lot of sense.
Yeah. This is a great point if we're going to talk about how to find content in your niche. So the first thing I would recommend to anyone right now is go and type the one sentence or 2-3 words about what is the content that you're looking for in your niche, something that is related to your product or the problem that you're solving. You will get the first 50 viral videos that got most of the likes. You can also filter at the top the ones that went most viral and most of the likes. And then you will see what people are already talking about. One exercise to start is just watch those videos and then react to them, stitch them, to answer those people who are having the problem or are talking about the expertise that you have. That's the easiest and simplest and best way to start, because you already have a foundation of what people are asking about and what are they talking about in your niche.
Oh,
All you need to add on.
Good.
Yeah.
That's so simple and mind-blowingly obvious that's directly linked to value. Love it.
One creator who kind of nailed this, she has an agency, and she started this trend where she asked everyone, what is one problem that you're having right now? And then later on, she started doing this regularly. She was like, what's one software that you won't hesitate paying for, or you don't mind paying for? And then you see everyone else is duetting her, saying, okay, this is mine, and here is why. So there's this library of creators just duetting her account and answering her, telling her what the problems they're facing are. So that's generating lead at a mass level, like the biggest way possible, for the easiest way possible. So I would strongly encourage you to do that. If you don't know how are people solving your problem right now, are they using your if you don't know if they're using your competitors, or you have some other kind of differentiator that your competitor doesn't have yet, build on that. Ask them, how can you schedule across all platforms? This is the Hopper case, of course I'm going to refer to that.
This is free consulting right here. I'm loving this.
How can you schedule TikTok video content across all platforms without having a watermark replicated in other platforms? Everyone is going to come up with their own solution. They do it manually, and then you can correct them. This is a tool that does it for you. You can save X amount of time, and it doesn't cost you that much. Instead of hiring a freelancer or someone else to repost your content across all platforms. So find your differentiator. Ask people about how they're currently solving that differentiator. What are they currently doing? And then present your solution. Yeah.
Is that not disingenuous? As in one thing I always fear when doing stuff on social is like this difference between social and selling. And I think there's a deep part of me that would loves the idea of that. Like, strategically it's sound. If I saw someone doing that, I'd be like, oh yeah, you've set yourself up for that. Is it okay? Does it work?
For me, the way I see it is that is still offering value. That is still giving me an alternative. If it's an actual better alternative that makes my life easier, that it's more efficient, the product is really good, I don't feel like it's disingenuous. I feel like it's offering me efficiency. It's saving my time. For me, that's valuable. So I do take that as something that I would definitely do.
Love it. Okay, I've just seen the time. You might be able to tell I could just sit here all day. So what I'm going to do, I really want to talk to you about discoverability on TikTok and just get some real tangible insights on that, and then also about how to work with influencers if we want to do that. We'll do that in just the next kind of 4 or 5 minutes, and then we'll go to questions. So what are the most important things to consider in order to give our TikTok posting the most chance of good discoverability?
Yeah. So when you're first starting, of course, like the first 2-3 videos, you don't have any data. So I would just recommend posting at any time that you like, whatever type of content, because you're experimenting. But then as soon as it's your 4th, 5th video, you already have a lot of insights that are provided to you on the TikTok platform. On every video, when you click on the settings, there is an insights section on the video. You can see when people have actually dropped off and didn't finish watching the video. When they scrolled past, how much time did they spend? Did they engage with any of the hashtags? Where did they come from? You can see that on every video. That gives you a lot of insight on, okay, maybe my hook was not good, so I'm improving it next time. They didn't even watch more than 4 seconds. Maybe I need to have more energy in the video. The lighting needs to be better. There are so many variables that we can improve just from that small amount of data that we'll get from TikTok. As soon as you start getting a little bit of followers, then you have an insights page that tells you this is the perfect time for you to post. For me at this stage, it used to be like 5 p.m. now, because most of my followers are in the US, now it's like 10 p.m. So I schedule my content based on that for it to go viral. If I'm targeting someone that is in London, I will use the hashtags that are in London. One common misconception about hashtags is there are the ones that help you go viral on these platforms. They don't. They help you niche down. So if I want only the people in the UK to see this video, I need to tag UK London. If I need people who are only coaches or interested in any type of coaching or who are into fitness, then I will tag the relevant hashtags for that. They will not help you go viral. They will help you niche down so that the right people see your video.
Wow. That makes sense. And actually, so just, I mean, it's a support to go viral, but only because the right people are seeing your content, and therefore they're more likely to see it rather than general population that don't care.
Exactly.
Really good to know. Thank you. I felt like I was interrupting you. Going to say something else.
The other part is like, don't get discouraged, and I'll tell this to everyone who just wants to get their content out there, but then post the first 5 videos and they're like, oh my God, it only got 150 views. And I'm like, imagine if you were in a room and you had 100 people watching you, engaging with you. They actually watched you talk for all of that minute. You would be like, oh my God, this is legit, right?
Yeah.
Online, I get like 100,000 views, and I'm like, oh, that wasn't much. Imagine
that amount of people. Yeah.
In real life. It's our conception of what we think works or not. I would rather, for example, have a community that's like 5,000 people that are very engaged, watch my content regularly, and actually convert. So they go and do the CTAs that I call for, and then have thousands who are not engaged. This is what a lot of TikTok creators kind of struggle with now, especially the ones who started from the beginning when there was a lot of dancing and music happening, because TikTok was before Musical.ly. It was hard to convert because they weren't engaging in any way. It was just fun and entertainment. But now, as we see other creators who are providing value on the platform, the conversion rates are through the roof. That's why every brand is jumping on TikTok now. Yeah.
Amazing. What about Spark ads?
Yeah. So having a business accounts within the business center in TikTok allows you to have access to sponsor every video that was ever created under your brand. You can sponsor videos that are in your account and in the accounts of others. So for example, some brands I work with, they would sponsor videos on my page because they haven't started this, they're running an experiment. They don't have their own pages or not enough followers. So you can get a creator code, which is like a series of number that a creator will give to you, and then you can use it for a period of time for your ads. So this is a new thing that TikTok has done that is an absolute game changer, is that even if you don't have a business account that has a lot of followers, people will not question your legitimacy when you're running an ad. You can run it from another creator who has enough followers. And it will have the same amount of conversions. And you also have access to the creator marketplace, which is a marketplace where you can find all of the TikTok creators in your niche. You just enter a few keywords and they will give you automatically the number of following, their engagement rates, and the price that they're asking for per video. You can contact them and get the purchase actually on the platform. So it's very easy in terms of transactions and how they manage their influencers. I can't imagine how we did it before.
And is that on Spark Ads as well?
Yeah, so it's the TikTok business center, and then in it there's like Spark Ads, Creator Marketplace, and if you are an e-com brand, then there's other integrations. So if you use Shopify, there's TikTok for Shopify. Yeah, so e-com is a little bit has its own segments because it's really big on TikTok. Yeah, but all of them are under the business center for TikTok. So I would suggest just create an account, give it a shot, and just explore the different options that you have based on your budget. If you have anything less than like 1,000 to spend on a campaign, I would suggest just starting with a couple of creators to create some UGC content for you, and then sponsoring those videos online to see how well they will convert.
Love that, love it. Right, we are nearing the end. I would love to invite all of our audience to ask any questions they have. So the Q&A has been very quiet, but there's been stuff in the chat. So feel free to put any questions either in the Q&A panel or in the chat. And you have already seen how willing, open, and able Rita is to answer your questions with so much specificity and value. And whilst we're waiting on some questions there, let's just talk a little bit about that influencer campaign. What can we expect to be paying, I guess, is what some people, UGC, Herbert's just asked, it's user generated content. So basically content that's not generated by you or the brand, but it's typically by our users. And you can also get that by other creators. So yeah, what can we expect to pay for content and also for the promotion?
It varies, Mike. I can't really answer that.
How long is a piece of string, Rita? That's what I'm asking, really, isn't it?
So it can go from £100 per video to £3,000 per video, depending on how much engagement, followers they have, and you can see on someone's profile the average views that they get, and you can easily expect what you'll be getting from if you post your product on their channel.
Okay.
It's very do I need TikTok for business in order to get to see the viewer insights? No. You do need a minimum. You can see it. You can see the video insights as a normal account, as a creator account, but you do need the minimum amount of followers. I believe it was like 1,000 followers to start seeing.
Well, but I think there's a difference there between the basic account, the creator account, and the business account. So I think from a creator and a business, you can see it instantly, and from a normal account, a basic account, you need the 1,000. So actually, it's worthwhile just converting it into a business or a creator account there. So I've asked a very difficult question on how much, but it's a range of 100 to 3,000. And for our American friends there, obviously we've spoken in pounds, but now, unfortunately, if you've seen the news, the conversion is very easy.
Oh my God,
This
yeah.
really one-to-one, just so everyone, it's more just to make maths easier for all of us. Patricia's got a question here. Is it possible to get your list of hooks?
Definitely, I can copy paste it right now.
Well, what we'll do, and if it's okay with you, Rita, we will obviously make this recording available. We'll also, if it's okay with you, Rita, we'll just do a blog post with all of those hooks, and obviously maybe link some of your videos into it where you've used those hooks and it's worked out well.
Yeah.
So we'll send you a link to a blog with the hooks and seeing them in action, and of course to everybody else. Great question. Right, Teresa, who is not your hearing awareness client, but obviously sounds very similar. I'd like more clarity on Herbert's question. Then what ways to get education purposes? It would be great to have closed caption in the future. Oh, of course, yes. Great point, thank you. But yeah, more clarity on Herbert's question on UGC, is that? And then ways to use for educational purpose. So I think UGC was the question, or the insights was the question. This really is a one-on-one webinar right now, although there's many other people watching. That's like different stuff. Rita, you've done a great job of being so specific to everybody. Okay, so actually, what question did you want more clarity on, Teresa? And if anybody else does have it, and then the other content. So Rita, yeah, other ways to use it for educational purposes. Any other insights that we've perhaps not shared?
I feel like Teresa actually brought up something that closed captions are so important that I forgot to mention that I was gonna say. I definitely very much encourage everyone to use closed caption on their videos, because sometimes you're in the tube watching, you just open the app and you're just watching, want to consume content, and sometimes you don't have headphones, there's people nearby you, so people or some people have hearing impairments. So you do want to have closed captions on every video, especially with your brand colors, to reinforce that brand personality that you want to come out, and having it pop out, so it does capture a lot of the attention as well. Sometimes we're not engaged, we're not listening, we'll just want to read it. So yeah, it's good to have that variety in terms of content.
Amazing. So I think Teresa's going to clarify that question. Paula, what do you recommend if we can't get together? We're scattered all over the world. Do you think that would be interesting for our potential clients? So this is, I think Paula asked this question in the chat as well when you were talking about getting the developers involved in the content.
Yeah, I mean, that's the beauty of it, is giving the opportunity to everyone around the world to create a short format, like FaceTime format video, showing their environment, where they live, what's their work desk like, what's a day in their life. I've worked with a remote, all remote company before, and this was one of the campaigns we run. We were like, oh, a day in the life of everyone in the company. I actually worked, funnily enough, with their HR department. So they wanted to use TikTok, and this is also something I forgot to mention. They use TikTok not for marketing purposes. They wanted to encourage younger generations to apply. So this was a major bank, and they had a whole department that was about developing new apps, new financial apps. And one of the main things is that their whole team was remote. There was just really bad culture inside that department, but they needed new developers and a new generation of marketers. And they used TikTok to kind of brand the culture that they have. They at the same time engaged the people that work in that department to create a whole story and rebrand what their department is doing right or wrong. Even they made fun of themselves, like how there are some like the lingo between the boomers and the millennials when they're in a business meeting. Someone recorded like, oh my God, here's like the VP gonna start again with how like the product is going and the budget, and then the millennials just asleep during COVID. So that's one of the ways in which the brand comes off more authentic, is the employees are having fun creating this content, they're making fun of each other, so they remove all of those stigmas and barriers about how they can make fun of each other and communicate with each other, and you're attracting you're serving the goal, which is attracting talented Gen Zs.
Amazing. Therese has also just asked to share that link, which we will put in the email after this as well, so thank you. We are very much out of time, which is gutting because there are questions coming back. So what I would like to do, if you're okay with this, Rita, let's officially round this up. And anyone, we've got 2 more questions in, and I'd either like to say we'll do a quick fire at the end of the close so people can leave if they want. And the most important thing is we've had Rita for an hour and have all had our minds absolutely blown. She does this all day, every day, and we will actually share, if it's okay with Rita, your contact details, because I'm sure many people have either more questions, but actually quite often in this scenario, it's not just about putting out the information you've shared, it's actually working with you in a way which can do this work for us. You're clearly the person that makes this happen. So yeah, we'll definitely share information afterwards. But to round this up, I'd just like to thank you so much. Firstly, massive thanks to the audience here. It's been really great to see so many of you from so many different places and to be as engaged in the chat and the Q&A as you have. And of course, a huge thank you to Rita. I've learned a lot. I still remain totally mind blown that TikTok started as social and has now gone into search. Who knew that the likes of Google and the mighty search engines are potentially now seeing their main competition in what started out as a dance app? It's really amazing to really retouch into this experimental mindset and knowing that we might not always have the right answer first, and that's just part of it. So as long as we keep on staying focused on building new content, testing it, seeing if it fits to the purpose, and of course, being a bit playful with it. I really also took the fact that education, entertainment is the core kind of themes that run through the content, and how we can be a little bit more creative than perhaps we would have first been when we look at what a host for our person can be. And one thing I know for sure many of us will do after this is make sure that our TikTok accounts are business accounts and dive into that creator marketplace and also into Spark Ads to see how we can do that. So, Rita, thank you so much. We've still got loads of questions coming in. I almost don't know what to do. So this is the end of the webinar now. Rita, do you have an extra 5 minutes to hang on for a couple of questions, or is that?
Yeah, okay, thank you.
I suspect no one's going to leave because everyone wants to hear your answers to the questions. So let's just dive, and I'll ask them if it's useful. So let's go to Patricia. What type of content would you recommend? This is an interesting one for a union who organize academics like lawyers, HR, economists, etc.
What type of content do academics like lawyer? I've actually seen a lot of lawyers and economists just talk about their life. I follow this content creator who lives in New York, actually left law. She quit this big firm and now she's starting her own firm, and she's inspiring all of the young lawyers to start their own businesses and help, and she talks about this whole thing. So that audience is definitely on the platform because I've seen it a lot. So I would say the main thing is to get as many. So this is the case where I would say you don't need only one face. Because it's a union and you're trying to organize a lot of people, you do want a huge amount of engagement and content coming from different people with different expertise. I would say having like 3 or 4 consistent content creators making talking about the struggles they have, talking about what is the main problem that they're facing and how they are helping to solve it, or what coming together would mean in terms of solving that problem. That's the way I would approach it, just because community attracts community. So if you're trying to attract other organizations to support you and help you, you have to bring a lot of people on. Yeah, I hope that helps, Patricia.
Yeah, I mean that certainly feels massively valuable, and I think also this almost brings me back to your previous point about like behind every statistic and every business is a person scrolling, right? So it's actually like the content that that person as a profile would be interested in. We have how do you convert to TikTok to business? Amal's answered that. Amazing, thank you. Alabi, how do you watch this again? We'll send you a link to the recording. That's a good sign. Love that. And then I'm just a bit. I'm hoping that we've answered Teresa's questions. I believe we might have done, but we will also share contact details so we can continue with that moving forward. So, ladies and gentlemen, that brings us to the end of the end. Thank you all so much, Rita. You've been absolutely incredible as always. Thank you so much for your insight and entertainment. We look forward to following you on social. What's your handle?
Tech Bible.
Tech Bible.
Everyone, follow me, DM me if you have any questions. I'm always super happy to help. I love solving problems in general. So whatever it is that you're struggling with in your business, please bring it forward. I'm happy to help. Thank you so much, Mike, for having me here today.
No worries, thank you. And one last introduction into the Waybook, into the Hopper. Wow, into the Hopper HQ TikTok scheduling tool. So you can now schedule all of your TikToks and your social media to all of your platforms, including TikTok. And we're continuing to build some really unique and exciting features. One we mentioned in that is the ability to connect your TikTok account and automatically repost that to your Instagram account without the watermark, which is a really important thing if you're using the content across the platforms. There's loads more where that came from. So if you are getting started, mastering or moving forward with your TikTok or of course your social media, you know where we are, and we're more than happy to keep on building the tools you need to do what you need on social media. Again, thank you all so much for joining us. We look forward to seeing you at the next session. Have a great one and best of luck in all that you do. Bye-bye now.